Welcome to 365 LOA. How to easily and effectively bring into alignment your thoughts, desires, beliefs, and actions, as well as create a positive parallel environment with those around you and the world as a whole. And now, broadcasting high atop the MacGuffin Towers in exciting Las Vegas, authors of the best-selling book, Advanced Parallel Programming and the Law of Attraction, Dr. Richard K. Nongard and R.J. Banks. Hi, everybody, and welcome to the show. R.J. Banks here, along with my friend, colleague, and all that kind of stuff, Dr. Richard K. Nongard. Good afternoon, sir. How are you today?
I am awesome, and I am hoping everybody tuning in is awesome as well.
Well, if they're not, we're going to make them awesome. By the end of this show, they're just going to be dancing on the, what was that, Lionel Richie? Dancing on the ceiling. Yeah.
You know, the one of the great affirmations you can actually start the day with is, I am awesome, I am awesome, I am awesome. And even if you don't feel awesome when you say it, simply saying that will activate
Talk yourself
the awesome
into it.
part. Well, yeah, you know, we've all heard that expression, fake it till you make it.
Yep.
And it's actually one of my favorite expressions, because the reality is when we act as if becomes our reality.
Exactly, isn't it? I just love the law of attraction. That's basic. That is the basic foundation of the law of attraction, is basically fake it until you make it, but know what you want. Excuse me. And that reminds me that today I want to talk about, now there's a couple of things that we've both written about and we talk about and we discuss amongst each other a lot. And that is now being a, I wrote that book, The Power of I Am and the Law of Attraction, which is just very focused on the law of attraction. And in that, and the way that I was taught when it comes to LOA is to visualize what it is that you want. Decide what it is that you want, then visualize it, and do all these, make all these goals to where I want to have this, or I'm going to have this, and I'm going to have it at this time, and then of course we make vision boards and we write down affirmations of so I am this.
What it will be like.
Right, of what it's going to be when I reach that. Now, since you and I have started a friendship and started working together many years ago, one thing that Dr. Nongard here kind of introduced me to was the power of intention. Now, when I would start talking about what my goal is to this, and so maybe you should look at setting an intention instead of a goal, because I would get stressed out, and I know a lot of other people too. Is like, okay, I'm going to have $10,000 in the bank by October 30th, and da-da-da. And then the closer it gets to that date, the more you start stressing, the more you start, it's like, oh my God. And then subconsciously you start doubting all these things that you've learned and all that kind of stuff. So Dr. Nongard brought me to the power of now, is kind of what it really is. But anyway, I'm going to turn this over to you, and I'm just going to ask you, what is the power of an intention, and what is the difference of an intention and a goal?
Well, intentions come from our goals, and they come from our dreams. But goal setting is really a cornerstone of corporate training seminars. It's the cornerstone of motivational speeches. Almost every self-help book I have ever read has extolled the virtues and the importance of goal setting. They say things like, if you aim for nothing, you will hit nothing.
Exactly.
And it all sounds good. In fact, there's an acronym for good goal setting. It's called SMART, right? Goals are specific, they're measurable, they're attainable, they're relevant, they're time-focused. Mm-hmm. These are all things that we're taught. And I think that I'm actually the heretic in the corporate training world, because my position is, if you want to reach your goals, then stop setting goals.
I love that.
In fact, I
remember when you taught me that, I had the hardest time. I don't know if you remember, but we kind of didn't butt heads, but it's like, Richard, what are you talking about? No.
Well, there are a lot of hidden problems with goal settings. Problem number one is that it focuses on the future, and it causes us to miss the moment. The only moment that I can actually impact is this moment right here.
And that is the biggest thing that you taught me, that Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, it's just the idea behind the whole idea of the power of now, or the art of mindfulness. It is a reflection of the great Master Oogway, who said, yesterday's history, tomorrow is a mystery. All we have is the present, and that's why it's a gift. And it's really important to recognize that we actually can't control the future. In fact, many people move towards a goal, but things change along the way. And the reality is the goal either is no longer important, or the goal is exceeded much earlier than anticipated, or we revise the goal downward. Really, an intention is much more valuable because an intention can be activated on right now. Let me give you an example, Rob.
Okay.
I had a client not too long ago who came in because they wanted me to help them with their obesity. And they said, hey, I have a goal. They came in right off the bat, first session. I have a goal. My goal is to get down to 300 pounds. If I can get down to 300 pounds and you can help me do that, I will have hit my first goal. Again, my guess is that client probably had tried to hit that lofty goal before and probably missed the mark.
Probably more than once. Goals often set us up for failure. I don't know if or when the person can reach that 300-pound mark on the scale, but I do know that today I can set an intention to increase my daily activity. I can set the intention to choose to eat nutrient-dense foods first and in the correct portion. And if I act on my intention, the goal that I would have set will always materialize on its own, effortlessly. Isn't that awesome?
In fact, I always tell people, especially when I'm doing corporate training, sales training in particular, stop setting goals, set intentions instead. And at the end of the time period where you normally would have set a goal, look back, reflect on what happened, and you'll see that you almost always surpassed the goals that you had set for yourself. This is a principle that's true time after time. And yet if I go to a corporate training seminar today, whoever's teaching the seminar is probably going to start out with, let me share with you the importance of SMART goals.
You betcha. Well, that's indoctrinated into the corporate training world.
And part of the law of attraction, though, I think, Rob, is changing our thinking to be consistent with activating our greatest level of potential in this moment. By the way, I can go on. There's a whole long list of problems with goal settings. Would you like to hear them?
Well, I mean, do we want to focus on all the negative, or do we just want to turn around and focus on the positive?
This is the heart of the problem with goal setting. Exactly. When I set a goal, let's say it's for 3 months from now, or 6 months from now, or 9 months from now, I'm keeping my focus on what I don't have. And because I'm keeping my focus on what I don't have, I'm missing what I do have along the way.
Because you're focused on what you don't have and something down the future, which is commendable, I guess, saying someday I'm going to be this or something. But, as we would say, if you sit here and say someday I'm going to be a millionaire, someday never comes. Someday
I can have a millionaire mindset today.
Exactly.
A millionaire mindset is really simple. I have to understand the principle of compounding interest. I have to save, and the principle of creating greater opportunity for earnings potential. And even if I don't have $1 million in the bank today, if I cultivate those two things, set an intention today to take advantage of mathematics and to look for opportunity. If I set my intention today, I am seeking opportunity. With each step that I step forward today, I will be stepping into a new reality. The reality is that whether I have $1 million in the bank today, I'm well on my way to achieving my goal with intentions.
And one of the things that with intention, because intention is the right here and the right now, which is, like we've said so many times, all you have is the right now, is the present. That's why it's a gift. So when we set a goal into the future and we try to put a time on it, like I mentioned earlier, there's that stress level of the closer you get to that goal and you have not reached those landmarks and you start stressing out. But my intention every day is to be happy and to be resilient, and those are my choices. So my intention is to be happy throughout the day. Now, when people look at me and they say, well, look at what you used to have and look at you now. You're an old fat blind guy. But you know what? I'm happy. My intention is to be happy. And as you've seen on my big, huge board there in foot-high letters, my affirmation, it's in my bedroom and it's on the wall. And so the first thing I get up, I go over there, and they're foot-long letters because I can't see. So I got to get big, huge letters that says, I am resilient. You have to be resilient about it if you've got to bounce back or be I mean, look at right now. We're going through all this coronavirus stuff. What you intended on doing 2 months from now, 3 months from now are canceled. My life, I was a head of radiology at a big hospital up in Washington. Then I got a tumor and I lost my vision. So now all that goal setting and all that working towards that didn't lead me to my final goal.
Somebody moved the goalpost.
Exactly. Well, yeah.
And this is
and
why
I'm blind and I can't find it now.
And this is what happens in goal setting. A lot of people really get frustrated. They trip themselves up because the goalpost gets moved. Life changes. Things things interrupt us. And that goal of being resilient is really important. By the way, you mentioned being an old, fat, blind guy. Here, look back over the last 2 years. You set an intention to be healthy, to take care of yourself, to live your best life. And so effortlessly over the last 2 years, I've watched you lose weight. You are less now than you were 2 years ago.
Yes, I was.
And you haven't done that by setting a weight loss goal. Nope. You've done it by setting the daily intention of living your best life, even though things are different.
Bingo, bingo, bingo. You know, no matter what life brings you, you have the choice. And that's what the intention is. That's why I say my intention every day is to be happy.
Well, and that's just a great intention to have, to be connected to people. I am connected to people. I am living a joyful life. I am sharing that joy with others. There's another problem with goal setting, Rob.
Okay, what is that?
After I reveal this, let's take a look then at how we go about actually setting intentions.
Okay.
But that is that goals are almost always what other people expect of us. Sometimes a boss, let's take a sales manager, might give me my goal. Richard, your goal is to sell 20 cars this month. Rob, you're new. Your goal is to sell 15 cars this month. And so goals are often given by somebody else. If the goal isn't actually given by somebody else, sometimes we set our goals because we believe that this is what the people around us want from us. And the problem with goal setting is they're almost always, at one level or another, directed to meet the expectations of others. Whereas an intention, and I set intentions using your formula that you revealed in your book of I am. They are almost the same as I am affirmations. Only they deal with the specific traits, attributes, or qualities that I'm interested in cultivating. Nobody else can say I am for me. I'm the only one who can say I am. I can give you a goal, Rob, but I can't give you an intention.
Isn't that something?
You can set an intention for yourself each and every day.
You know, I went with remember Dennis Waitley. I used to work with Dennis Waitley years ago. It was a very limited basis, but anyway, we got into this conversation about that, and he was like, you know, when we started talking about goals and intentions and those things, he started talking about, well, you know, exactly what you were saying. He says, and he used his own personal life. He's saying, when we're young, our teachers and our parents are the ones that usually start
setting
goals for us. Like, you know, if daddy's a surgeon, then you need to be a doctor too, and you know, and follow these. Right. And then all of these goals and all these intentions that other people give you are not for your benefit. And I didn't understand. I said, what are you talking about? He says, well, think about it. When your boss gives you a goal, is that for your benefit or is that for his benefit? Well, obviously it's for his benefit. If he has 10 salespeople and all 10 of them sell 10 cars this month, he just sold 100 cars that he takes to his boss and said, I got my crew to sell 100 cars. Look at that. Boom. And he gets the pat on the back and he gets the bonus and all that stuff.
Right. That's why one of the other issues with goal setting is that our natural inclination as we move towards the time that we've given ourselves in our goal setting is to revise those goals downward so that we don't feel bad about missing our goal. The result is that goal setting can actually be a spiral to downward mediocrity. If I'm always trying to meet the expectations of others, I've never lived my best life. I meet a lot of people who are in their 30s and 40s and 50s who are actually waiting for mother to pass away because they haven't been able to live their best life yet. In other words, they've been directing their goal towards making somebody else happy rather than what it is that they would like
Norman,
to accomplish.
don't you look at that girl, Norman.
and it's a character.
My favorite show.
It's a character in a in Hollywood.
Yeah.
But
Norman Bates.
people are still living trying to make somebody else happy, even though they've entered the adult world 20, 30, 40, or even 50 years ago.
You know how mothers are really good at throwing guilt on us kids. It's
Absolutely.
Like, oh, so you finally decided to call me, huh? It's like, Mom, I just talked to you yesterday.
Exactly. We all have that same phone call. But
love you, Mama.
let's talk about setting intentions.
Okay.
I always tell people that when you get in the shower and you shampoo the shampoo on your hair, it says wait 2 minutes, rinse, and then repeat. Those 2 minutes can be a productive 2 minutes. What's my intention for the day? What is it that I would like to step into? So I think the formula for an intention is I am. Because it's not something I'm going to do, it's something that I activate right now.
Right.
So if my goal is to be 300 pounds or 200 pounds or 195 pounds or 150 pounds, I might not be that today. But I am making healthy choices.
If people have a hard time doing that, what you can do with your affirmations, because these affirmations are so important to keep drilling yourself with, is just say, I am excited about losing 85 pounds, so I'll be 300 pounds.
Right.
I am so focused on losing weight or obtaining that, getting to
health.
300. Yeah, gaining health, getting to that 300 pounds.
You can set an affirmation from that.
Right.
You see, goals come from dreams. Dreams are goals without a deadline.
Right.
Okay? Goals are those self-imposed deadlines. And I think intention setting is far more effective. In fact, the research actually supports that. But if you take the goals that you have set for yourself, you can then use those to set intentions. You can say, well, I set this goal, and my goal was to, be nice to the dog, right? Or, my goal was to sell 10 cars this month, or my goal is to, lose 100 pounds of weight.
Right.
You can then say, well, what's the core value there? What does this really represent? And the question is, if I notice that I'm trying to make a change because I haven't been exhibiting kindness towards animals and other people,
right,
I can set the intention that I am kind. I am compassionate. I am observant of those around me. When it comes to, again, sales and a number, or making money, right? What's the core value here? The core value is I am responsible. I am trustworthy. I was doing a sales training for a window company. The sales crew sold high dollar windows.
Okay.
And so I was working with them on intention setting, and one of them said something really interesting that really stuck with me. He said, my intention is to be trustworthy. The reason that was his intention is he recognized that when his customers perceived him as trustworthy, a salesperson with integrity, that they would be comfortable buying the product from him. When it comes to our health, I might not be numerically where I wish that I was on the scale, but I can be confident in my choices today. I can choose to increase my physical activity today. And whether I hit that number or not, I am doing the very best that I can do, and I'm living my best life today, even if I haven't lost any weight yet.
So what kind of advice can we give folks here to refocus their focus on intention and get them on that, get them moving in that direction?
The easiest advice is this: start this moment with the intention to focus on your intentions. It really is that simple. Ask yourself in every action you take, what is my intention? Is my intention resourceful or unresourceful? And then with the next step into a resourceful intention. It really is that simple. You can list these down on a piece of paper. You can write them with a Sharpie on your bathroom mirror. You can put them on yellow stickies. But these are, again, I am affirmations that reflect what our core values are, what it is that we want to experience the most. And the good news is that we don't have to wait for the future to happen to experience intentions. Right, we get them right now.
I love it.
Rob, we're out of time, but same channel, same place next time.
And make sure you hit our website. We have a couple of them on Facebook. You can find us at LOA Affirmations on Facebook, or you can go to loaaffirmations.com, or you can go to our podcast website, which is 365loa.com.
And lots of great resources there for you. You can download for free to really help you on a day-to-day basis. All right, we'll see you same time, same channel next time for another edition of the 365 LOA podcast.
Bye-bye. You've been listening to 365 LOA with Dr. Richard Nongard and RJ Banks. For additional information, including free downloads, or to send them an email, visit 365loa.com. That's 365loa.com.